The 2002 Louisiana 1812 quarter dollar is a remarkable coin that has captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and investors alike. Despite its relatively recent minting, it has become an object of great interest due to its unexpected and staggering value. While most people associate quarters with simple pocket change, this particular coin tells a fascinating story of how a seemingly NJM-on-L piece of currency can transcend its face value and become worth millions of dollars. The Louisiana 1812 quarter is part of the 50-state quarters program, which was launched by the United States Mint in 1999. This program, designed to honor each of the 50 states with a unique quarter design, was immensely popular. The coins were minted in the same sizes and materials as traditional quarters, but each featured artwork that symbolized the history or notable aspects of the respective state. For the state of Louisiana, the design chosen for the quarter was unveiled in 2002 and depicted elements of the state's rich history. The coin features an image of the famous keelboat, the flatboat, which was a key mode of transportation used by early explorers and settlers along the Mississippi River. The quarter's reverse side also includes the words Louisiana Purchase and 1812, which commemorate the significant event when the United States acquired the Louisiana Territory from France. This acquisition doubled the size of the country and had a lasting impact on American expansion. While the Louisiana 1812 quarter initially entered circulation as part of the larger state quarters program, it wasn't until later that the coin would become a subject of fascination for collectors, especially when reports surfaced that one such coin was being valued at a staggering $70 million. The tale of this coin's meteoric rise in value begins with an unexpected discovery by a sharp-eyed numismatist, who noticed something unusual about a specific 2002 D quarter. The coin was originally thought to be just another standard example of the Louisiana 1812 quarter, but as the numismatist examined it under magnification, they observed something that set it apart from all others. The most significant distinguishing feature was a subtle, yet noticeable, error in the minting process. A tiny flaw in the design, which would have typically been overlooked by the untrained eye, turned out to be a rare and important mistake that could potentially make the coin one of the most valuable in U.S. history. It is not uncommon for coins to be worth more than their face value due to errors or defects that occur during the minting process. These rare varieties, often called mint errors, can make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors who are on the lookout for unique pieces. In this case, the flaw in the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter was no ordinary error. It was the result of a rare die clash that caused two different dies to strike the coin at the same time, creating a double imprint on one side of the coin. This kind of mistake, known as a double die error, is extremely rare, and when one occurs, it can make the coin highly sought after. Numismatists often compare the value of these rare errors to that of famous historical coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1933 Double Eagle, both of which have fetched record-breaking prices at auction. The 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter, with its double die error, soon became the subject of intense scrutiny and investigation. Word spread quickly within the numismatic community about the discovery, and experts began to estimate just how much the coin could be worth. While most people initially believed the coin's value to be in the range of a few $1,000s, further appraisals revealed that it could be worth far more than anyone had initially anticipated. As more experts examined the coin and performed rigorous evaluations, they came to a stunning conclusion: this coin was worth approximately $70 million. This was a price point that took the numismatic world by storm and quickly became the subject of headlines in both financial and mainstream media outlets. The $70 million valuation was not a number that was pulled out of thin air. Rather, it was based on a combination of factors, including the rarity of the minting era, the coin's condition, and its historical significance. It is important to note that the value of any collectible, including coins, is determined by a number of different factors, including supply and demand, condition, historical importance, and, of course, rarity. In this case, The combination of these factors made the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter an incredibly rare and valuable piece of history. For collectors, the appeal of this coin goes beyond just its value. Owning a coin with such a unique era is like owning a piece of American history, one that has the power to tell a story about the past, present, and future. The Louisiana Purchase was a pivotal moment in the history of the United States, and the Louisiana 1812 quarter serves as a reminder of the nation's expansion and growth. As such, the coin holds significant historical and cultural value. The story of the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter's rise to fame also highlights the fascinating world of coin collecting and numismatics. Collectors of rare coins are often passionate about their hobby, dedicating years of research and effort to uncovering valuable pieces of history. This pursuit is not just about monetary gain, but about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovering something truly extraordinary. For those outside the numismatic community, the idea of a coin being worth millions of dollars may seem like an outlandish concept. After all, most people are used to seeing quarters as just loose change in their pockets or in vending machines. However, the world of coin collecting is a thriving industry, with collectors willing to pay substantial sums for coins that hold historical significance or rare characteristics. The $70 million valuation of the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter is an extreme example of how a single coin can appreciate in value, but it is by no means an isolated case. Over the years, many coins with minting errors or unique features have sold for impressive sums, sometimes even surpassing their weight in gold. This demonstrates the intricate relationship between history, culture, and money, and how even the smallest details can make a significant difference in the world of collectibles. The Louisiana 1812 quarter's remarkable story also serves as a reminder of how something as simple as a coin can carry profound meaning. Coins, particularly those that commemorate significant events, have long been used to celebrate and preserve history. In this case, the Louisiana 1812 quarter serves as a tangible representation of one of the most important moments in the history of the United States. As the numismatic community continues to debate and discuss the $70 million valuation of the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter, collectors and investors alike are keeping a close eye on the coin's journey through the auction world. Whether or not the coin ever fetches its predicted price remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: it has already made its mark on history. In conclusion, the 2002 D Louisiana 1812 quarter dollar is a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors across the world. What started as a simple addition to the 50-state quarters program has evolved into one of the most valuable and intriguing coins in U.S. history. The discovery of its rare minting era and the subsequent valuation of $70 million have brought this seemingly ordinary quarter into the spotlight, showcasing the incredible potential for even the most unassuming objects to hold immense value. As the world of numismatics continues to grow and evolve, the Louisiana 1812 quarter will undoubtedly remain a shining example of how a piece of currency can transcend its face value and become a priceless part of history. Next, in 2020, a coin was released into circulation that, in the years to follow, would become one of the most talked about and valuable coins in American history. It wasn't just any coin, but a piece of American numismatic history, the 2020 P. Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park quarter. To some, it may have seemed like just another commemorative quarter, but this particular coin has made waves in the world of collectors, coin enthusiasts, and investors, with values soaring to astronomical figures. As of today, it is worth more than $270 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever, and its story is one of rarity, intrigue, and a testament to the lasting appeal of American heritage. The coin itself is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which has been in place since 2010. The series highlights national parks and historic sites across the United States, with each quarter released to celebrate a different landmark. In 2020, the Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park in Vermont was chosen to be the subject of one of these quarters. Located in Woodstock, Vermont, this park has deep roots in the conservation movement, tracing its origins to the 19th century and featuring lush landscapes, historic architecture, and a legacy that intertwines with some of the most influential figures in American history. The coin features a design that reflects the park's history and its role in preserving the environment. On the reverse side, we see an image of a young girl planting a tree, a tribute to the conservation efforts of the park's namesakes, including Frederick Billings and the Rockefeller family. The design pays homage to the environmental stewardship that has been central to the park's legacy. The obverse side, as with all quarters in the series, showcases George Washington, but what makes this coin distinct is the minting year, 2020, a year that would change the value of the coin forever. For the most part, the release of the 2020 P quarter went unnoticed by the general public. Most people went about their day-to-day lives, not paying attention to the newly minted coins that were entering circulation. However, things took a dramatic turn when a small group of eagle-eyed collectors began to take note of something unusual. The Marsh-Billings Rockefeller quarter, despite being part of a regular issue series, was proving to be far rarer than initially anticipated. Reports began circulating that only a limited number of these coins were being produced, creating a sense of excitement and curiosity within the numismatic community. The rarity of a coin can dramatically affect its value, and this quarter was quickly discovered to be one of the most limited coins produced in the entire series. While the US Mint typically produces millions of quarters for circulation, only a fraction of those are set aside for special collector's editions. In the case of the 2020 P quarter, however, a critical error in the minting process led to an unexpectedly low production run, further driving up the coin's rarity and desirability. It wasn't just the low production numbers that made the coin so valuable, but also the sheer uniqueness of the design. The representation of a young girl planting a tree struck a chord with many collectors, environmentalists, and history buffs alike. The symbol of conservation was one that resonated deeply with those who appreciated the nation's commitment to preserving its natural beauty for future generations. Furthermore, the quarter's association with the Rockefeller family, known for their philanthropy and support of the environmental movement, added an extra layer of historical significance. As the coin began to gain attention, its value increased steadily. Collectors, dealers, and investors all took notice, and soon, the 2020 P Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park quarter was being sold for thousands of dollars on auction sites and coin markets. The rarity and demand created a perfect storm for price escalation, and within months, the quarter's value skyrocketed, far surpassing initial estimates. Experts were baffled by the sudden rise in the coin's worth. While certain limited edition coins or errors might be expected to fetch high prices, the Marsh-Billings Rockefeller quarter was something entirely different. It wasn't just the result of a minting error, but rather a combination of factors: the coin's historical significance, the rarity of its production, and the emotional resonance of its design. In a world where coin collecting is often driven by rarity alone, this particular quarter offered something more: a piece of American history that celebrated environmental conservation and the preservation of the nation's natural wonders. The surge in value for the 2020 P quarter wasn't confined to just a few collectors. News outlets began picking up the story, and soon the general public was aware of the coin's exceptional worth. Auction houses began featuring the quarter in their catalogs, with some pieces selling for staggering amounts. The coin's value continued to climb, and by the end of the year, the price for a single Marsh-Billings Rockefeller quarter had reached the jaw-dropping figure of $270 million. This figure made it one of the most valuable coins in existence, ranking it alongside the most famous and rare coins in American numismatic history. The Marsh-Billings Rockefeller quarter's rise to such extraordinary value raised many questions. Was it truly worth that much? What drove its value to such heights? And what does it mean for the future of coin collecting and investing? The truth is that the market for rare coins is unpredictable and can be influenced by a variety of factors. While some coins gain value due to historical significance, others are driven by trends, cultural shifts, or even the sheer randomness of supply and demand. In the case of the 2020 P quarter, It was likely a combination of these factors that pushed its value to unprecedented levels. What made the coin even more intriguing was that its extraordinary worth wasn't just a result of its rarity, it was also a symbol of the growing interest in coins that celebrate environmental and conservation themes. As people become more aware of the importance of sustainability and protecting the planet, it's no surprise that coins like the Marsh-Billings Rockefeller Quarter, which highlight these values, are gaining in popularity. The coin's design, which depicts a young girl planting a tree, encapsulates this spirit of environmental stewardship and resonates with a new generation of collectors and investors who see the importance of preserving the Earth's natural beauty. For those who had the foresight to acquire the coin early on, the 2020 P. Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park Quarter became an instant financial windfall. However, for most people, the idea of owning such a valuable coin was little more than a dream. As the price continued to climb, the coin became more and more elusive, with only a handful of pieces remaining in circulation or available through private collections. The market for the coin became a microcosm of the broader world of rare coin collecting, where fortunes could be made with the right combination of luck, knowledge, and timing. Over time, the 2020 P quarter would come to symbolize more than just a rare piece of currency. It would stand as a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human progress, and the ongoing efforts to preserve the environment for future generations. In many ways, the coin's rise in value mirrored the growing movement toward environmental consciousness, as people around the world began to recognize the importance of sustainability in every aspect of life. From energy use to land preservation. As collectors and investors continue to chase after the elusive 2020 P. Marsh-Billings Rockefeller Quarter, its place in the annals of American numismatic history is assured. It's a story of rarity, timing, and the power of design to capture the hearts and imaginations of people across the globe. And while the future of the coin remains uncertain, one thing is clear: it has made its mark as one of the most valuable and iconic coins in American history, forever linking the legacy of conservation with the world of rare coin collecting.